Courtney and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna be playing with the Pat McGrath blushes and the new highlighter that she came out with. For sure, when they got here, I literally like rushed to swatch and I have already done some looks with them, which I am going to show you guys in this video, but I was just really excited. A lot of times I like to try out products before I bring them to you anyway, so I get a good idea of what I'm going to tell you guys about it, how I really feel about them. For the record, this is like my third time recording this part. I literally was like speaking for like at least an hour and then realized that my mic wasn't even plugged in, so it's like one of those days. But with that being said, if you are interested in these blushes, how it looks, all of that great stuff, then please continue to watch. Alright guys, so this is what the actual packaging looks like. It's that beautiful gold that Pat McGrath does on pretty much all of her products. You got your Pat McGrath hieroglyphics right here with her name right there. The name of the actual blush is going to be at the top of the box. The lavender and the gold to me just look really beautiful together. Now as far as how it feels, it is very weighty. It does feel luxurious. It's not as heavy as one of her other highlighters that I'm going to show you guys in just a second. Each of these blushes is going to be $38 for 9.7 grams. It does say net grams, so I'm not sure if they count the component in that or not. For the entire bundle, if you wanted to get all 9 shades of these, it is going to be $284, and they also come in trios. I was lucky enough that every single color that I was really interested in came in one trio, which ended up being $96, and I did end up saving a little bit of money, so that was awesome. As I mentioned, they do have 9 shades total, 6 demi matte shades and 3 pearlescent shades that are kind of like a satiny type of like pearl shade, I guess is what it's described as. I picked up the Futuristic Fleur. It's French. All 3 of those shades are demi matte, so I didn't really get the pearlescent shades just because I felt like on my skin tone they'd look a little bit more of a highlighter-esque type of situation, and I wasn't really looking for that. This is what the component looks like. Again, we have the black shiny with the gold Pat McGrath writing on it. You open it up and it does have a nice size mirror, and as you can see, you have that beautiful rose embossing, but then you also have like the sun rays in the back. The closer you get to the pan, of course it's gonna take away all the beauty of it, but right now I think I've used this blush maybe 2 or 3 times and it still looks really good. I love that they kind of etched it in so deeply that it's not going to be affected so soon, if that makes sense. The shade that I'm using today is Lovestruck because of that pinky, and I did my eyes pinky. I want it to be sort of monochromatic, and as you can see, as I tap in, there isn't a lot of fallout. I do get a little bit, but not to the point that I'm like upset. I'm gonna tap off a little bit, and then I'm gonna start up here and sort of just tap on and bring it inward. And as you guys can see, it is super pigmented even with me tapping off a little bit. I do see that there's like a slight amount of sheen right here, which I'm not mad at all. I love when my cheeks look a little bit, you know, dewy. So now I'm gonna go into the Skin Fetish Divine Glow highlighter. One thing about this packaging, as you can see, we kind of already have a little bit of like fingerprints and stuff like that on it. I wish it was a little bit more on the matte black side, but I get that like this is Pat McGrath's like aesthetic, so I'm not like crazy mad at it. This is the actual Divine Glow highlighter. Now it is a little bit more on the golden peachy side of things. This one is $48 for 4.6 grams. I like to take a little bit more of a softer bristle brush. This is one of the Eigshow brushes that I like to use. If you guys didn't know, I am like an affiliate with them, so if you guys want to get a little bit of a discount on these brushes, I always leave that in my description box below. I never really like plug them, I guess, but they're there if you want to look at them. And I like to use this one specifically because it does blend out your highlighter really nicely and it's not too much pigment at one time, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm gonna go in on this side. Again, I'm just gonna tap in a little bit and I'm gonna put it right there, sort of blend that into the blush. And I like to drag it a little bit under the brow to give myself a little bit of sheen right there. Drag it out. And I like to put it on my Cupid's bow to give a little highlight right there. Tip of my nose, of course. I'm gonna do a little bit on my chin. I don't want to do any on my forehead today because I don't want my forehead to look shiny, but a little bit on my nose. It settles into the skin really nicely. It's not like overpowering your whole look unless you want it to. Like if you wanted to use these wet, you can really get a super duper intense highlight. So now to sort of nullify everything just a little bit, I'm gonna take my Makeup Forever Duo matte powder and I'm gonna set my foundation, but I'm also gonna buff over the blush and the highlighter just a little bit so I can kind of smooth everything out. Alright, so I think we got the look that we are gonna be rocking today. This is what the blush and the highlighter look like with the whole look. Now, as far as the actual Divine Glow highlighter, as I mentioned, it is $48 for 4.9 grams. This one right here is the Skin Fetish Ultra Glow highlighter. This one is $48 as well. The difference for me is this one is 10 grams. So this one you get a little bit more product even though it's the same price. This one is the Sublime Skin highlighter. For this one you get 6.5 grams of product for that $65. This one's a little bit more weighty. It's a little bit more of like a statement piece, something more collectible. I don't really know what they go by price wise, or if it's the packaging or what you're really paying for. Now I do appreciate these being a little bit more on the still high-end, little expensive side for like blushes, but not as expensive as like this one, which is $65. But then this packaging is like super substantial, you know what I mean? Now the blushes themselves are super soft, ultra pigmented, so I definitely recommend a light hand, especially if you want something a little bit more subtle. They're really silky and buttery, and they go on really smooth. They're really finely milled. I haven't had any problems with any of these blushes like sticking to any dry spots or any emphasized texture or anything like that. They're really smooth, really blendable, really easy. As I mentioned, these are those type of blushes that you can sort of go in, nullify it, build it up, however you want to do it. It just meshes into the skin and it meshes into the highlighter really nicely. It's just like a nice combo. I feel like all three of these shades are gorgeous, especially on tan to deep to rich skin. I feel like it's gonna do just beautifully. Now this is the Paradise Venus shade. I want to show you guys what I did with this one. This one's more of like an everyday kind of blush. It's a little bit more on the bronzer meets blush kind of situation. This is Electric Bloom. This is my favorite one out of all of them. It's supposed to be like a coral color, but it's like almost like a neon coral, and I love that about it. It's such a unique, powerful shade. I feel like if you guys don't get anything else in this collection, like maybe you're not really interested in the highlighter, maybe it's too similar to the Ultra Glow, I do feel like at the very least try out one of the blushes, specifically Electric Bloom. I just feel like that's one of those shades that everybody can wear, albeit if you're a little bit more on the lighter side of things, I would definitely try a lighter hand. But if you're really rich skin tone, these kind of colors are just everything. Keep in mind, if you are curious about any of the looks that I have in this video, anything that I'm mentioning at all, I always leave that in the description box below if you are curious. But yeah, that about does it for me, guys. Hopefully this video was helpful, entertaining, all that great stuff. If so, please give me a thumbs up. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video if it's in your heart to do so, and I will see you guys in the next one.